Welcome back to the podcast. Today we've got Katie on.
Hiya.
Welcome, Katie.
Thank you.
Katie's one of our clients. She's had quite a large transition from working inside another online coaching business to then spreading her own wings, not literal wings, but figuratively, and then actually launching her own online coaching business and maybe taking the lessons from the first one.
Yep.
And a bit of help from us. Playing it to just a little bit. Playing it to herself, and now last month you did 10K.
Yes,
Congratulations.
I did.
Which clearly means you're a successful online coach.
Yeah, that's the standard now. That's it. I'm going to quit. No, done it. Completed it, mate.
I only said that because everyone says it. Everyone takes piss out of us for it. But yeah, how did you get started into coaching? What was your start
online
of your
or
career?
just in general?
Just in general. Like, why were you a coach in the first
I
place?
was fat.
You were a coach because you were fat?
Yeah, that's always the thing.
That was the
You go from
prerequisite.
fat to fit, and then you just want to help other people, don't you?
I mean, I would imagine that is a route in. I don't think it's the only route, but yeah.
No, I've always known I wanted to do something active, to be fair. I did have like quite a corporate job, so I've been doing it. I was doing it alongside that for quite a while, but then that just did my head in.
Why did you get qualified in the first place? Like, what about it? Like,
I wanted to leave the job I was in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, literally. So it was just shit. It was too corporate.
Story of your
for me.
life, that, innit?
It was just too
Tell me,
corporate. I showed up one day and got told I was wearing the wrong pants for work. They were work pants. So she was like, they've got pockets in them. This is like a 40-year-old manager as well.
Wait, hang on a minute. Are you supposed to go to work? Do you not supposed to have pockets in your pants?
Well, this is what I mean. She was like, because they've got pockets in them, the jeans. I was like, this is really not the place for me.
Oh, with them ones with the pockets on the back?
They didn't have pockets on them. She's a fucking nutter.
All right, so you quickly realised you didn't want to work for other people.
Literally.
Why fitness though, as instead of just some other self-employment, starting another kind of business?
Because I've always known, like, I've always been the sporty one. I've always wanted to do something fit. The gym was like, it's that standard thing of it's your passion that you've turned into your career. And obviously there's a fine line with that. You don't want to go too far the other way. Fucking hate it. No, I'm joking. But it's one of them things where I knew, and then I didn't know at one point. No one's born knowing what to do in a gym. Like, a lot of people won't have the confidence to be like, oh, I'll just try that, I'll try that, I'll try that. They just won't do it. And it's your health at the end of the day. Like, you can't afford not to. So if I could be that person that could help them out, then I was going to be.
When did you decide to go then, like, all in with the fitness stuff? Like, when did you leave your job?
Well, I went online like a month before COVID. I'd just joined. I know. I'd just joined a different, like, it wasn't even a mentorship. I don't know what it was at the time. It changed its time frame while I was in it. But
like a course thing?
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, a course thing. That's actually how I found out about you. That's where you first got mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
And then I did that. Didn't really see any benefit from it other than it was really good timing because of COVID that I had this online platform. Like, it was a bit of a saviour, really. Then we went back to the gym floor and I only did like 3 months post-COVID before I was like, I'm just going to go fully online.
Why online and not in the gym? Like, what was the big
Because
goal?
at the time I still had the other job. So I'd get up at 4, go work this job till 2, have a nap till 3 and go to the gym floor till 8 or 9 at night.
Yeah.
And I'd repeat that every single day.
Yeah, but what was the reasoning why maybe you didn't give up the job and then do PT and the online coaching?
I think I was scared, to be fair. I was scared to give up because it was security.
Yeah, it is. You're
It was
right.
security. And then it was like, if I did that, I'm solely on my own. If I could do this job and online, I've got my time, I've got my freedom, but I've also got relying on that job as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then why did you then eventually leave the job? What was the tipping point for that?
It just got too bullshit. Like, it was a really good job. I was very young on a very, very good wage. It was like a really good pension. But I remember speaking to my friend who's my age and he was like, yeah, I'm going to be here till pension age. And I thought, I'm not going to be here till pension age. It filled me with dread. It genuinely filled me with dread.
And that's changing all the time now, and it's 66 now.
Yeah, literally. I was like, oh my God. Like, you're going to die in this building.
I did that
and
teaching.
we're
That's
23.
exactly what I did. I was
literally.
like, there's no way I'm making it out of this.
Yeah,
no
literally.
way.
Like, as much as the security was there, that's not me. Like, I'll always bet on myself because I knew there was untapped potential, and the thought of sitting in that desk chair till I was, 66 at the time, probably 80 by the time it comes around.
Yeah.
I was like, no, this isn't for me.
So what did you do then? Like, when you went fully online, like, what was the process?
So I went fully online before COVID, did that, quit my job, handed my notice in, and then I had a coach myself that then I became ingrained in their business. I became their success coach. So again, I still had 2 jobs. I still did online and I still did their half of like success coach and stuff. So that's what I did until eventually I left that and went and did my own thing.
Give us a rundown of like the work you were doing as a success coach, like what was entailed, because some people won't know what that means.
So it's basically client fulfillment. It's looking after the clients, making sure everyone's happy, doing check-ins, reviewing things. If anyone's got a problem, they come to me. Obviously, some things need to go to the person running the program, but it was just to make sure everyone was taken care of and everyone's happy with regards to if they need changes on things. I did the program at one point, but eventually that was outsourced to someone else. So I was kind of just dealing with like the feelings and emotions of people in a sense, like, and the mindset side of stuff and speaking to them about that and like talking them through obstacles and struggles and things. Sounds like
heavy,
that. It is, because the team when I left was about 85 people. And to get through 85 messages.
You handling all 85 yourself?
Yeah. So to go through messages like that on a Monday morning of that, and then that's just the success coach role. I then had to deal with my own clients as well.
Yeah. I
say deal with, speak to.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah. Well, no, because we would usually recommend like if somebody's bringing in a coach for their program, like, and again, everything's different. Like if it's cut and dry calories and macros, you could probably handle a little bit more, but we would probably recommend somewhere between 40 and 50 being like full client load, like the most, you know, that really, unless they're turning around to you and being like, yeah, I'm sound, give me more clients, we would usually say to cap it around that. So to be doing 80, you were like 50% over quota really, if not a little bit more, which is tough. How did that affect your own business?
Mine took a decline off the back of that because obviously to look after those people and make sure they were okay and they weren't leaving that business, it took a lot more of my time and my energy.
Yeah.
Probably my energy more than anything else, because it was a lot of conversing with people. And then obviously it's like trying to fix your own calendar around that as well. It's like, when's the time for that and when's the time for me to do my stuff? Plus I have to put out for more clients. I have to make sure I'm doing my lead generation. I was running a business and then running half of another business in a sense to make sure they were okay. But if anyone wanted to leave or anything like that, they would come to me.
Oh, so you were doing the customer service as well?
Yeah, and it'd kind of be like my job to speak to them and see what went wrong or get client testimonials and stuff.
Yeah. Still like pretty heavy workload then, I would assume. What was your reason then for leaving that? Like, clearly it was a job that you wanted to do or else you wouldn't have accepted it. But like, why then did you like, no, I need to run my own business? Because some people are, you know, if the opportunity is good enough, some people are like more than happy, right? What was it that really like drove you to want to do it for yourself?
The people they were working with weren't the people I wanted to work with specifically. Like I knew who I wanted to work with in my business and they weren't the same. I knew who I wanted to help, but I knew if I went and ran with my own thing, I could do it. I just knew. I don't know how. Do you know when you can just feel it? Like if I had the time to put into X, Y, and Z, I could fucking smash it. Like I knew I was going to, and I couldn't. It was the one thing holding me back.
It's just the time, isn't it?
Yeah,
like
literally.
But you learnt a lot from the process though, right?
Yeah, because obviously you get to see inside like quite a big successful program, so you know the way things work and how things operate, and you get to see, okay, that's done really well, but this is what I'd do better if I did it myself and stuff like that.
It's like with anything. Anytime you're on the inside of something, you're always like, okay, yeah, I really agree with that. I really like the way that works. That may not be the way that I'd particularly do it. I'd probably do it this way. And then obviously then you get to go and build your own program around maybe the positives and kind of breeze over the stuff.
Because I definitely have built things differently now for my own business if I hadn't have been in there first.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a lot different. So
that's good though, because it's give you a decent platform, right?
Yeah.
What was the transition like moving through there?
As in like going from
working in another business to literally just being on your own?
I felt like my calendar was empty when I first left. I was like, oh my God, I've got all this time. What do I do with it? No. And obviously, as you know yourself, if you're not focused on work, you're like, shit, you procrastinate, you start doing stupid shit, basically, whatever you can. But then it was like, there was a certain point I reached out to you and I was like, right, I need some help here because I know I've got this really good thing. I just don't know what to do with it or how to operate so it can be the best that it can be.
Yeah. What was the specific bits about your business that you really wanted to do for yourself then? Like who were the kind of people that you really wanted to work with?
So I work with the LGBTQ plus community, but I know for some people that's like a massive barrier in itself. Like growing up, you can't be yourself. Growing up, you're getting called the fat lesbian. Do you know what I mean? It has an impact on you.
Yeah.
And you don't want to go into the gym. You're like in a female changing room, you're fucking staring at the floor because you're like, oh my God, they know. like it's a fucking secret. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, just stare at the floor. But it's like little things like that get to you.
I've never thought about that, but
literally,
that's mad. Yeah, no, I can see where that comes from.
Literally, especially if they're like Gymshark, head to toe, fake nails on, fucking bougie bitches, no offense. But like, do you know what I mean? And like, you think they have a certain perception of you before they've even said anything, looked at you. Do you know what I mean?
They probably didn't have a Scooby-Doo either, really.
They probably didn't have a fucking clue, but you're also in your own head like, shit.
Yeah. I think it's because you're taught to worry about it, aren't you? Like, my only experience of it is obviously from like, when I was teaching, we'd have kids in schools that were clearly like, didn't understand their own sexuality. And they'd get to like, wouldn't be a problem, year 7, wouldn't be a problem, year 8. Year 9, you just see the cracks start to happen because I think it's the very similar situation where like they've started to realize and they're like, fuck, does everyone else know? And then it becomes like, like
a dirty secret.
It's not that, but you just always see like behavioral issues like always crack out in year 9. It's not obviously like a broad spectrum, but like some of them you'd be these lovely kids like year 7 and 8, and year 9 you'd just be like, he's telling me to fuck off, like they're angry all the time, like parents can't control them, like what the fuck is going on? And then like you'd realise like 6 months later, like, oh, that's
and they just didn't know how to deal with it.
I think it's what it is. It's just like, not trauma, because that's kind of later down the line, but like turmoil in it. It's like just being in their own head the whole time.
Yeah, like I'm not normal. Shit. But there is no normal, is there really?
Yeah, I think maybe like 10, 15 years ago, it's probably a very different landscape. But like now it's...
Literally.
Well, in this part of the world anyway, it's a bit...
Because like even in your uniform in school, you all look the same, you're all molded the same. And it's like, oh shit, I'm different. There's something going on here that's not right.
I remember I used to wear Slipknot hoodies when I was in primary school until I went to high school, and I knew I was going to get beat up.
Did you hide it under a blazer?
So I just stopped. No, I just stopped wearing them. I was like, fuck that.
Oh, shit.
Moshes get beat up.
Did you have a chain and everything?
No. Oh, jeans and everything. I used to skateboard.
You didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Bloody hell.
Not well. When I say skateboarded, as in I had a skateboard.
I did an ollie and that was it once.
I couldn't even do an ollie. Couldn't do it. I was 5'2" and quite heavy. Like there was no way I was getting off the floor with a skateboard attached to my feet. No, I just jumped. But I carried a skateboard with me occasionally.
To look cool. To look the part.
I went to a skate park once and got to the end of the brawl and I was like, fuck that, that's well too high. And I just sat at the skate park for like 3 hours with my mates. Like, yeah, go on, lad.
Just coaching people.
It wasn't even that. I was just watching, being like, oh, I'm going. I went, did you not see me when you were? I went, yeah. I'm tired now. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, back to that. So specifically, right, I've always wondered this, like, how do you specifically coach LGBTQ plus? I feel like you've got to say that a lot to get used to saying it in one sentence, but that group of people, how does that particularly change the coaching? Because I'm not going to pretend to understand it because I don't.
Okay.
How does it change the coaching? Because to me, like from the outside, I would be like, I'm not sure what difference it makes, what your sexuality is compared to what fitness advice you need. Yeah. I'm sure there is though. So like,
it's not a massive, fitness advice, it's not a massive difference.
No, but like
it's like
you know,
the lifestyle factors, the mindset behind it. Like there's a lot of common themes, which is how I even built the program in the first place. And obviously I can relate to that. It builds that connection already. And then there's a lot of people still living in places at the moment that don't even support that kind of lifestyle or the way people live, and they don't have that community or anything. So when they come into the program, that's what's different for them.
Okay.
Because they've got that sense of community and they've got that commonality between them. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's more the mindset side of things. I wouldn't say anything specifically physically, unless like someone comes in and says like, I want more of a mask physique or I want more of a femme physique.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
Then it's obviously different on the training program. But other than that, it is like the community side of things and the mindset side of things.
Yes, it's more about maybe if the like behavioural issues with eating and stuff like that have stemmed from certain things. Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, because it's a form of control, isn't it? Like
if
you feel like you're out of control,
yeah.
Food is something that you can hone in on and stuff.
Yeah. That's a really cool way of thinking about it. Did you always want to do that with your coaching or?
Yeah, so someone suggested it to me years ago and I was like, I can't do that. That's dead offensive. I don't know why I thought it was offensive. I can only work with, fucking hell, I can't do that. But then I did it and I was like, this is the best thing I've ever done. But yeah, it was my head that thought, what will other people think? So that's something I had to get over and just fucking do it.
How do you feel now with your program though?
Amazing. Literally.
Do you enjoy it? Yeah.
Yeah, literally, like the feedback every week's like, this is life changing. Like I wouldn't have got through this week without this today. Like even the group chat between them all sometimes it's fucking chaos, but they all love it. Like someone posted a picture the other day that the skirt was too big and there's a seamstress on the team and she was like, I'll take that in for you. And it's just the little things like that like, do you know what I mean? It was like that connection wouldn't have been made otherwise, and it was like a little bit of a joke. That,
do you feel proud of like?
Yeah.
You're a bit like, I did that. Like I put that together.
Yeah, like from nothing though. It was nothing. It was just an idea. Like I remember I filled in, what was it called now? Not the pillars, the other thing.
Yeah, the offer builder.
The offer builder. And I didn't even think about it. I just put break to build. And I thought, I'll probably change that. That's shit, that. And it turns out it wasn't. It was the best thing I've ever written.
Yeah,
but
it was good. I remember seeing that. It's quite clever, that.
I was like, why the fuck have I written that? But
probably because you like just wrote what you were thinking, mainly. That's what the exercise is about, like that bit. It's trying to get you to dump your brain on, and then obviously we look at it and try and piece it together into something like marketable. But sometimes people brain dump on it and you're like, wow, yeah, it works. Go for it. So no, that was massive. And then obviously the business has grown very well financially. What do you put that down to mainly? Like what would you say was the big kind of lever? Because you kind of knew what you were doing already, right? Like what was the difference, why it's kind of got in that kind of position?
I'd say I changed my environment. So at the time when I first joined you, my environment weren't the best. I was ticking all the boxes, doing all the things, but something weren't clicking. So I changed my environment basically and just ran with it. I just absolutely hammered everything that I needed to, ticked every box, and just disappeared for a bit.
You did disappear for a little bit.
Yeah, but did what I needed to do.
We got the number. Where were you?
This
still
is what
like,
I mean. Yeah, sometimes you've just got to get your head down, tunnel vision, haven't you?
Well, I think obviously for us, like we see it over and over and over again. Like you know, we've worked with that many coaches now that like we knew you were doing the work because I know what you like. Like I know you weren't not doing it, and then you just look at it and you're like, yeah, but it's not working. There's something not right there. And obviously you work with Vicky, or you worked with Vicky.
Yeah.
Still
with
coaching,
Vicky.
So like, and Vicky, I said to Vicky, I was like, is something going on with her? Like, because it's very rare that like everything gets done for weeks on end and things aren't moving forward.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between obviously doing it and like doing it.
Showing up.
Yeah, showing up and actually, but like being able to put your best self like into it.
Yeah.
And it's like, obviously then Vicky like told us like, obviously there was some personal issues going on. You were moving out or moving into your own place. And then obviously when you settled in, it was like, cool, I'm doing all the same stuff, but now it's working.
Yeah. Now like literally through the roof, just took off.
And I think that's one of the biggest things for me, and potentially like a lesson to coaches off the back of this is like, not just like in personal circumstances, but like, I think truly to like really build a good business, and a business like this where you're giving a lot of energy to people, you have to have a lot of energy yourself. And if you're running yourself into the ground and like not making time for yourself to kind of make yourself happy, it's very difficult for you to like show up and do all the work that you need to do properly, because a coaching business isn't like drop shipping. Like you can't just, not that there's anything wrong with drop shipping, but like you can't just turn up and like buy some shit on Alibaba and then sell it on an e-com store where you don't have to talk to anyone.
You're having a shit day. Product for a bit, aren't you?
Like if you're having a shit day, Alibaba's the same and your Shopify site's the same. Like, no, you don't have to fucking talk to someone at Alibaba and tell them your life story. Like you just click the thing and buy it. Like it's very binary. Whereas like coaching is not, like it's an exchange of energy for me.
If I showed up to my story flat as fuck, it'd be like, what the fuck?
Well, yeah, especially if you've done nothing but sit in your house all week because you fucking can't be arsed, and your content's going to be shit.
Yeah.
And then you're about to run out of stuff to say. That's because you've done nothing. Go and do something, live a life a little bit.
You've had no experience. Yeah. What did you expect? Yeah. Literally.
So what would you say to them people who are like struggling with that sort of stuff? Because I think I think we deal with a lot more coaches that are like that than we realise. Yeah. Like ones that are maybe struggling a little bit personally, and it's like reflecting into their own business. I
think like you need to get yourself right, because especially in the beginning, you are your business. If you're not okay, your business is not okay. And you can pretend to ignore it for as long as you want and be like, oh, fuck off that. I'll just go and do some more work, and you'll just burn out. You'll procrastinate. You won't be as productive as you can be. You'll feel like shit all the time, and you'll get to a point where you're like, why the fuck am I bothering? So unless you actually address it and be like, this needs to change, then it's not going to. Like I was ticking all the boxes for you.
Yeah, like you were doing it. That's the thing. Yeah.
But I wasn't showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the difference.
We see that though. Like Shannon sat over there. Like Shannon like looks at people's messaging in their inbox, and I'm like,
oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm doing my lead gen, and Shannon's like,
and it just says hi.
Can you talk? Are you aware of how to have a conversation with someone? And it's just because they're trying, bless them, like, but there's just
bless them.
No, but it's in like they're trying to put the effort in. Like it's not like they're not avoiding it, but just when they're there, they're like, oh, fucking this is
that's
happening.
The thing though. You get that thing about your phone though, don't you? Where you think I've got to go on that again.
Yeah,
I've got to do that again. And you don't want to be like that, because then that's just a negative connotation to the task you've got to do. And if it gets like that about everything, you're just like, fuck this.
And I think that's one of the main things about building a business around people that you actually like and want to speak to, because that should be a good thing rather than a negative thing. Like if you don't like speaking to the people that you potentially could work with.
Yeah, if you get like a client and someone says the name and you roll your eyes, that says it all, doesn't it? Like you've got to build a team you actually look up to showing up.
You've got to. Everything. Like I said, like if coaching is a great way to make a living. Like you can make a brilliant income from it. There's lots of. Well, I got told obviously there's no money in fitness. There is, but you still have to want to coach. If you don't like coaching, if you don't love that side of the business, there's way easier, less stressful, less emotionally draining ways to make money for sure.
Yeah, because you take on other people's shit as well.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
massive. Right. What advice would you give to people about maybe taking the step with their own online business, or even just jumping into personal training if they think they can make a difference?
Someone who's not done it before, or someone who's doing it?
Someone who's doing it.
Someone who's
but
doing it.
But maybe scared of leaving their job.
Fucking do it.
There you go.
Seriously.
Seriously.
It took me a pandemic to make a decision. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so don't listen to her. She got fucking forced. She didn't make the choice herself. She got it removed from her. In fact, I'll tell you.
Like literally, just do it. Like if you've got that innate drive in you and because you can feel it. Yeah. There's a difference in between, I can do this or I can fucking do this. Mm-hmm. Like if you know you can, just do it. If you're on the fence and you're like, oh, should I? There's support there. There's like guys like you around. You know what I mean? Like if you put the right things in place, there's no way you can't succeed, because you've got to just. Do you know what I mean? Like if you keep hammering it, if you keep going, if you don't stop, it'll work in your favour. Like the odds are in your favour in that sense, aren't they?
Yeah, more the people that actually do it and see it through.
Yeah,
I've met very few that don't make it work.
Yeah.
I can count on probably one hand the amount of people that like have put in the work consistently for like somewhere between 6 and 12 months, and I've looked at them and gone, they've got fuck all out of that. Literally one hand.
But like even you said, like I was showing up taking the boxes.
Yeah, and
if there's something behind the scenes wrong, that needs fixing.
But they're generally the only reasons, realistically. Like that's it.
Like you've just got to be honest with yourself, haven't you?
For sure. Thank you very much, Katie. Where can people find you if they want to see
on Instagram at KT Coaching 1.
KT
Coaching. Not Katie.
Not Katie.
KT. Yeah, KT Coaching 1. I've got the one on mine as well. That's really annoying.
Oh.
I know. Someone in Australia's got the KT Coaching.
Bitch.
I know. On Instagram, on TikTok at KT Coaching 1
as well. Oh, have you got the real one? Oh, no, you've got the one as well.
Yeah.
Oh, you fucked it, yeah.
It's across the board
Change your business name.
Fuming.
Change your business name.
Fuming.
Thank you very much.
No problem.